Hey, what's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to take a look at Aurora Cannabis, ACB. This is a very scary looking stock, and it has had some very, very hard times, both fundamentally and based off of technical analysis. It's been in a massive downtrend. As you can see, we have a huge triple top in the overall daily if you look at the trend. If we look back, looks like we started trending upwards after we got a nice golden cross. We had a couple, TD9 red flashes, which caused a couple days of downside. But overall, we were riding above the 20 daily, which is the yellow. And, we followed it, and we got a massive amount of buying, and we shot up. Looks like we created a little M or head and shoulders, but it was also a bearish divergence. And, we ended up selling off a little bit. As you can see here, this is the bearish divergence. The price action above was showing opposite. Higher highs on one side and lower lows on the other. It started to trend down. We got a death cross. We had more bearish divergence there. Sent us down further. And I like to look left and see kind of where price action ended up beforehand. And, you can see all the massive volume candles of red coming in. We did get a little bullish divergence there. It's opposite on the bottom. Bullish is on the bottom and bearish is on the top. So we started getting some volume coming back again. A lot of people buying. And we ended up getting a golden cross. But before that, it looks like we had a little head and shoulders, if you can see in the RSI below and in the price action. Excuse me. Head and shoulders. These are good things to look out for just to keep you, visual and able to see different things going on. That's why I'm going through this real quick. Not only because I'm going to talk about the stock, but I also want to show you guys these things so you know what to look out for when you're looking at your own charts. As you see there, we had the green TD9 flash, and after that, we just went off. We seem to have broken out. We got golden crosses. And, before that, all the moving averages were all converging, which means they were all coming almost in a straight line, and the yellow was below both. There's another head and shoulders pattern that ended up sending it down. And, we pretty much, at that point, we went from like $2 to $130 or something like that. We got topped out up there, and, many people sold, and I don't blame them because I would have did the same shit if I could even hold on that long, When you're buying something as low as $2, $3, and it goes up, most people would sell around $40-$50, so somehow it was able to make it. But to top it all off, we had that bearish divergence at the top, opposite peaks on the RSI. We had a death cross on the daily, and it sent us down. All the moving averages converged, and this is obviously over a course of a few months in between each of these downturns, but maybe even more. But then we had, golden cross, started coming back up. Most people that got screwed on the $129 peak when they were buying in, when it came back up, they probably all sold. They all said, I'm out of this fucking thing. It already killed me so much. And, nobody's really been looking at it. And I've been watching this thing, and it's been trending sideways. It was at $10, went down to $6, went back to $10, made a couple plays off it, and then the last play that I did, it was around $10, came down to $8 I bought, went to $11 I sold, and then it came back to $8. I went to buy at $8, forgot to put my stop loss in, and it ended up going down way further than I expected, which was really unfortunate, and I kind of got trapped in there. So I was going to sell, but I continued looking at this thing and trying to piece it out because I really wanted to find a reason to hold it, and I actually decided to put even more in, and I brought my average down from like $8.50, $8.40 all the way down to $6. As you see right now, we're in kind of a falling wedge. If you take a measured move of this smaller wedge, which we just broke out of, it looks to be about $5, $5.40. So, $5.21 it looks like, actually, and we came up to about 505. We've been testing this 505 area pretty much for the last week or two. It looked like it was going to be like a little triple top type deal out of this, and I thought it was going to turn into a head and shoulders pattern, but it looks like we broke out of a little pattern. This bigger wedge here, we broke out of it, and we kind of got into a rising channel, which we actually surprisingly broke out of that. And what I've been kind of waiting for, as you see here, we had a little nice double bottom. We've been seeing a lot of W's in this thing lately. We broke out of it and came up to that 505, got rejected, tested it again, and I was kind of watching. And as you see on this rising channel that it broke out of, it actually created that nice W, broke out of it, came back down, and is testing it right now. And right before it closed today, I noticed that it just did not want to break below it, around 432, something like that. We just tested this thing again. Now, it's still possible. There's a couple different scenarios, but this is just me guessing. We could create a little W there at some sort. We could get a fake out, come up, come back down in. I would like to see overall us test this area here on the bigger pattern and the bigger triangle. If we weren't able to hold, then we're definitely coming back down to the $3.70 area, which is the scariest part of this thing. But seeing how close we are to the overall pattern that it's in, and it's getting ready to break out of, I don't expect us to be coming back down in that area. I got a lot of buys in the 370 area to bring my price down. We could get a little bit of sideways action, come back up. There's many things that could happen, but I can't tell you the future right now. All I can tell you is what's going on with this price action. And honestly, I know with the elections going on and everything like that, everything is like crazy volatile. And this stock in general is crazy volatile at all times. But with Biden being a possibility of winning, and he looks like he's up right now, he seems to be pretty big on like legalization and decriminalization of weed, and I think because of a lot of this stuff, people are going to be positioning themselves, hoping that if he wins, the pot industry is going to be doing pretty well, especially if he sticks to that word. Aurora Cannabis had some pretty bad times, and they weren't able to make do of their profits. They started burning their cash flow and everything like that. They were making more pot than they were selling. But recently, they have been talking about how they've actually done away with that cash burning, and they've been actually finding a way to be more efficient. And on top of that news, with the election going on and Biden possibly helping, everything to do with pot, I have a feeling that this is all going to align perfectly, not only with the news, but with what we have going on here. If we look at the weekly, we came down in this falling wedge, and we seem to have found a nice bottom down here at 370 area. This is kind of where we're at right now, and we broke out of this triangle recently. And that top of that triangle, I'm pretty sure, is around $4.32, if I'm not mistaken. And we're right in that area. It could be anywhere from $4 to $4.30. Now, the price, it came up to like $5.05, then it dropped back down to $3.90, then it went back up to $5.05, came back down to $4, went up to $5.05, came back down to $4.20, so on and so forth. Now, even though we're not making higher highs at the moment, and we keep retesting that 505, we're not making lower lows at the moment. which is a great thing to look out for, because in the trend, as this whole thing has been going down, it has been constantly making lower lows and lower highs the whole way down. But it's possible that we could end up turning this into a big W. And the overall breakout that I have of that big massive triangle that we are starting to progress out of on the weekly is, and I'm sorry I was talking through it all, is $18.43. That's the measured move of that big triangle that we are right in the end of. And if we were to come all the way back up and retest that old support line, I mean, this isn't going to happen overnight or anything. I mean, it's going to step up like a ladder, come up, come down, come up, come down. And potentially, as long as we can continue to keep making higher lows, we're going to be looking great. It looked like the MACD was going to come and cross, and we were going to go even lower. But the weekly MACD actually decided to turn over and start trending back up. We're getting a lot of buying in, getting more volume. The MACD on the monthly, it's starting to point up. We're getting ready to come up on a cross. The triangle I've been having drawn in here for months, starting to get towards the end of this pattern. It almost looks like we could be potentially creating some type of W on the monthly. We're getting to the edge of this pattern here to break out of this. I mean, I think that these days are numbered on this thing being known as a shit frickin' stock. It's going to be volatile as hell, and you have to expect that. But I mean, this is one of those things. You're getting in there at $4, man. I don't care if you're buying 5 shares of the thing, just hoping that you're going to hold it for a couple of years and it's going to be at $100, because this is very possible. I mean, look at that, the yellow monthly EMA there crossing the red. That was the last push down that we had to push us down to $3. But look at this monthly green TD9 flash we had. Of course, this is like 6-7 months ago, but we haven't even reacted to that yet. And when you ignore TD9 flashes of any sort, whether it's green or red, I mean, the consequences either go the opposite way or towards you, but depending on what the flash is, this is a green TD9 flash. So the consequences of ignoring it's going to give us a boom. We just need the buyers there, And right now we're starting to get it. But if we take a look at this 4-hour, we had this nice breakout coming back down to retest it. I mean, this is going to be the game changer right here. Are we going to fall back in, or are we gonna break out from it? And that's where I'm kind of watching. Like I said, I'm already in on it, but I'm going to keep an eye on it. I mean, everything looks pretty good so far. I mean, we have beautiful W's coming in here, clear as day. And we do have some divergences right now in the 4-hour that's having the price action come down. And there's a divergence even on the MACD, as you can see right there. It's higher on the right, lower on the left. If we look here, we're pretty much straight across, if not a little higher on the right. And I mean, it's pretty much straight across, I would say, on that. That's a divergence right there. If it's straight across and the RSI or the MACD shows opposite, that's a divergence. But that's where we're getting these are only on the 4-hour. We're getting a couple 4-hourly candles that are red. 425 looks like is about the trend line that we're going to come down and retest. We still have more room on the RSI to come down. But, we can trend sideways and the RSI can start rounding off and come up. And we'll see what happens when we get up there, if we can get out of here. We might come up and test the upper trend line that I have drawn across and come back down, retest, and break back up. I mean, it's going to be a whole process. It's not just going to go straight up. I mean, you don't really want that anyway. That's how you come crashing down in the first place. You want like kind of a slow move up. But so far, the last 2 weeks, I'd even say the last month, we've been slowly coming up, coming down, coming up, coming down. And I think this thing is gearing up and getting ready. I actually have some 2021 calls and some December calls right now for this thing for about $14-15. Maybe not December so much, but definitely 2021. But here's another W. We had another W. It M'd out, and then it turned into an M, then it came back to a W. I mean, That's how you end up turning these trends around, man. Everything just turns into W's. I mean, with W's, you have a down, and then an up, and then a down, and an up, and then it starts trending up. It does the same thing. So you're not just going straight up, but you are gradually moving up. So this here is on this is just the smaller time frame just to see what's going on, what caused the price action to come down a little bit after this beautiful W we had. As you see, we have the MACD on the bottom. It's crossed negative. And then we have some divergences on the RSI. And not too bad, though, but it's pretty good, actually. We're coming back down, retesting that, and we're starting to go sideways a little bit, actually. You know, that could have turned into a massive M right there if we were that bearish in this at the moment. You know, I think we're going to get a little bit of a rounding bottom here. I think the buyers are coming back. I mean, look at these volume candles. The volume is insane. You know, I think that today we were trading around 20 million in volume. Earlier in the week, 35 mil. I mean, people are here for a reason. Not only because the stock's was at $3.90 when it was once at $100, and you know it's because when things are sitting here going sideways at these low prices for so long, they're bound to pop off, and all you need is some sentiment, some reasons to buy it, and some news from the company, and we're getting all three of those things right now. Beautiful rounding bottoms here. That just shows the buyers are here. Yeah, we're getting some rounding tops as well, but that's going to happen when people start getting afraid of missing out. There was some bearish divergence, opposite price action in the RSI on the tops, but that's only on the 45-minute. Don't even really matter. I mean, I could go through a lot with this thing, but I would just keep it in your sights. I'm not saying go throw, I'm not even a financial advisor, so I can't even say to do anything. But if you're watching this and you're an ACB holder, don't, and you've already freaked out. Hopefully you haven't freaked out and sold. I'm telling you, you got a chance. We got a chance to come up, and I think that the days are only numbered right now. This thing's starting to turn around, so just hold. Don't worry about the price action as much if you're, we're buying up in the $15, $20 range. It's going to be back there. Hopefully, I don't think it'll be before next year, but I mean, I kind of have my sights set on like $10, $12 by December. At least broken out of the $11 range. That's been a pretty big rejection point. But, I mean, if we came up to test this other trend line here on the weekly, I mean, you're talking 745, so we'd need to break out of the 745 range to really be showing that we're doing something crazy. We're having a hard time getting over this 505 area right now, but you got to think about this. The more times you bump your head up against these resistance lines, the weaker the resistance line gets. And we've tested this 505 area, I think, 4 times in the last 2 weeks. I mean, we are gonna break this thing. And once we can get above that, that's I believe the 20 daily moving average that we're bumping our heads against, and it wants to go up there. So it's only a matter of time. I think it's coming pretty soon. So just watch out for this thing. Watch out for other CGC, Canopy Growth. That one's awesome. I mean, I'm in on that one as well. I bought quite a few around $14.50. Honestly, the reason I bought it was because I saw that Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg were I don't know if they're partial owners or what, but they're in on that thing. I mean, who wouldn't want to buy? I don't smoke weed anymore. I mean, me myself, I've been clean for 9 years in October, but if I still smoked weed and I heard that, there was a company selling that Snoop Dogg was growing weed from, or, anything with Snoop Dogg and weed together, and you're buying his blueberry yum-yums, you know what I'm saying? I'd be buying that. So that right there, great marketing. Just thinking of a weed stock selling weed that Snoop Dogg is, incorporated with right there pumps me up. So I had to get in on that, and it was at a beautiful price. And not too long after it shot up, and it, I think it hit $21 today. Had a little bit of a sell off, but it's nothing too crazy. Maybe I can go over that one if you guys like. But yeah, I think I've talked everyone's ears off for now. Hopefully you guys like this content I've been bringing you, and hit the like button, subscribe. I'll keep on keeping stuff coming, and if you want me to look at some other stocks, let's see this thing turn into a giant W like that and push us up to the $18 level. I'm in on that. I think I got 300 shares of this motherfucker, so I'm hoping for a